Peace, and blessings. Hakia, me here, the Success Scholar. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, this the wrong video. That's the wrong banner. My bad. This. Let me change that. All right. So I wanted to, just come online. Hopefully, you know, many people know I was a part of many different movements, but building and destroying was the term that many use. But I wanted to talk about, for instance, you have many, for instance, that refer to themselves as Pan Africanists, and basically, it's just another cliche, another label that people use to organize with, and sometimes, I mean, these people, they don't even deal with Africans, like from the continent, like how myself, individuals that I've affiliated with, but certainly, generally speaking, most people are going to organize with their own like people, and so a few months ago, we organized. I came together with many black folks here in Baltimore, and there was the State of the People forum. There was a major conference here, and I was one of the key organizers on the ground with that. Of course, it was a national based movement, and many people came to the table, and so I'm just simply saying that pretty much other people haven't been a part. They weren't a part of it because they don't have that level of reach and network and credibility. And so when the state of the people came to Baltimore, you know, uh, many amazing things happened, and so for the community, and that's the state of the people that happened, and so I just feel that I wanted to come on because many people feel like if you're not like invited somewhere, I wanted to let the listening audience know that Dr. Haki Ami, the success scholar, is putting in the real work and doing the real organizing, for instance, for in the state of Maryland. And so this is why, unfortunately, you have other, movements that aren't as wise and experienced and successful. They haven't had time to evaluate and build. And so this is why I pose this as Pan Africanism versus Dr. Amos Wilson's work, Dr. Amos Wilson, because, in reality, for instance, and I believe Dr. Amos Wilson would have had to evolve and grow in terms of, I don't think he fit into a particular area of thoughts. And so this is why, myself, as the leader, for instance, even in the Pan Africanist circles, you know, I mean, people are separated. Of course, people have different, organizations, et cetera, but not many of them, have done the work that I've been able to execute on. For instance, with the Mandela Fellows and the Gullah trips and the youth initiative to Africa, taking the young people to Ghana. I mean, although, and let me just say this, I've been blessed, and yes, I want you all to support and give money to my Cash App. Yes, you should be supporting the Success Scholar. You should be donating. You should be contributing to the Success Scholar if you want us to see a real movement. Unfortunately, many people don't have the reach and they don't have the assessments of power. And see, when you read 100 books a year for 11 years, like me, and you've been out here and you see people, you know that people don't have the abilities to reach different audiences, and so they can't. They're just standing still. So they have these little pop-up conferences, and nobody comes in this instance. So over the next few weeks, there's a CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus, and the United Nations, and so but it's interesting. When the State of the Black World came, there weren't that many so-called Pan-Africanists that came, and so I just don't think that many have intellectual well-roundedness, because you have to work with black people here if you live here. Like, you have to work with black Africans if you live here. But unfortunately, many people, they want to theorize and be rhetorical about Africa, and what is it, glorifying Africa. And I'm not saying here's the move. Here's the move. Let me just make it plain. And let me just say, for those that, say I'm piggybacking, I piggyback off a lot of people. I partner with a lot of people. And fortunately, I've been having the occupational Um, I've had the occupation to be able to do certain things and finance certain things, but I want for the people to begin to support and finance different things, and so I'm asking for you all, yes, support the Cash App, and yes, I'll be continued asking. I'm going to something on Friday that's going to be powerful, and I got my flyers ready to hand combat, and progress is being made, and definitely if you don't want to go to the CBC, go to the Maryland Black Caucus Foundation event. So, and I know some folk, they will never show up to anything like that. See, because they lack analysis like me. They're not as skilled and talented, and they don't know how to move in different circles. See, you have to be like, you got to listen to Dr. Amos Wilson. Dr. Amos Wilson studied power, right? And I mean, however it may manifest, right? And then some people are just like rhetorical and they're bored in their life and they're not making any progress for our people, right? And so this is why some people don't want to go to the UN, for instance. They don't want to go to the CBC. How do you live in the DMV and don't go to the C? Let me just give this example. See, some Africans from all over the world and some black people, they don't know about these different organizations and they don't trust them. You ain't gonna build no power movement off of some little obscure people, and so this is why these African centered Pan African groups, and let me just give this example, and I've supported ASCAC, Association Study for Classical African Civilization, and they've always had a good group of people there, and but I know that sometimes people delve into areas that aren't practical. They aren't food, clothing, shelter, education, medication, self-defense. Like they not building movements, and unfortunately some of these conferences that pop up, they just gonna be a rap and clap session. Like many people ain't gonna come. Like for instance, in a few years ago, some of these people that's having these conferences, they didn't come to the State of the Black World Conference. 700 people came from all over the world, literally. But some people in Baltimore, they didn't come, and I was, had a very, very, very instrumental role in that. Very, very instrumental role. And so I'm just simply saying that, unfortunately people, become ideologically committed to their own little thing, their own little group, own little cruise. And unfortunately, they don't move the people forward. They can't put people. Only thing you need to be teaching me is job skills, build it. I mean, yes. I mean, not me, but yeah, you can teach people in the hood some of these things, but I mean, job skills, career skills, how to produce revenue streams, how to create businesses, and this is why, for instance, the Power Networking Conference, like Dr. George Frazier, who I wrote a book with. I mean, one of the leading, for instance, Pan Africanists in the country, in the world, in history. And this is why Brother Melvin Foote invited me to the event in D.C. with the Ivory Coast ambassadors. And so, I'm just saying he's one of the premier Pan Africanists documented, like in the DMV area. And yes, and he was pleasant. He came to the Westmore thing. See, some people, and Westmore is from Jamaica, I mean, granted, and see, this is why, people got their little divisions or whatever. But see, and I took organized and got the family of Westmore, I'm sorry, the family of Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman, and we went to see the governor of Westmore. And so, so progress is being made, y'all. So don't, fret if you don't see me in somewhere, if you don't see me at places, don't think that, it's because, I'm not shining. Like, I'll shine wherever I can, where I need to be. But progress is being made. Keep building, keep hollering at the Success Scholar. I'm getting ready to go have a little lunch right now. So stay connected. We are making moves. We are making moves. Stay connected to the rise of the Success Scholar. So if you're around the 23rd, 24th, 25th, if you're in New York, come. I may be there or may be back in D.C. for the CBC event. So we'll see how things go. Progress is being made. Stay connected to the rise of the Success Scholar. Peace and blessings.